Today we will continue practicing writing algebraic expressions, going from English to math. In the last two lessons, we looked at addition and subtraction, and then multiplication and division separately. Today we will combine them. So let's get started. So let's write an algebraic expression for each of the following. In this first problem, we have 8 less than the quotient of x and 11. So we'll have some value, and we'll take away 8 from it. We have 8 less than some value. Well, that value is the quotient of x and 11. Quotient is division. And in this form, the first number, in this case x, will be the numerator. So we have x in the numerator, and then 11 in the denominator. So there is the quotient of x and 11. And we're going to take away 8. So we have 8 less than the quotient of x and 11. In the second problem, we have 6 decreased by thrice y. In this case, we're starting at 6. And then we're going to decrease that 6 by some value. We're going to take away some value from 6. What are we taking away? We're taking away thrice y. Thrice, that may be a new term, but that is 3 times something. So in this case, it's thrice y, so 3 times y. Next, 42 increased by the product of 7 and x. So we're going to start with 42. Increase it by, or add to it, the product of 7 and x. So the product of 7 and x is 7x. Now, since with addition, order doesn't matter, it'd be better if we wrote the term with the x value, so 7x first, so 7x plus 42. But either of these two expressions is correct. 3 times a diminished by 1/4 b. Diminished is decrease, so we're looking at subtraction. So we have 3 times a, so that's 3a. And then we're going to diminish it by, so subtract from it 1/4 b. So 1/4 b. And we can write this as 3a minus b over 4. And again, either of these expressions would be correct. For the fifth problem, we have half of x increased by the product of 6 and y. So 1/2 x, I'm going to go ahead and write this as x over 2. You could write 1/2 x as well, same thing. And we're going to increase it by the product of 6 and y. Product is multiplication, so we have 6y. For the sixth problem, we have 3/4 of y less the product of 2 and x. So when we have less and not less than, view this as minus, as if you're saying the word minus. So now we have 3/4 y minus the product of 2 and x, so 2x. And this can be also written as 3y divided by 4 minus 2x. Again, less and less than are going to result in a different algebraic expression. If this was less than, it would be reverse. We would have 2x minus 3y over 4. But without the then, less and minus are equivalent. We're starting with 3/4 y, and we're taking away the product of 2 and x. As opposed to starting with the product of 2 and x and subtracting 3/4 y. Let's look at some application problems. So Maria is saving money to buy a telescope. She has X dollars saved and is saving Y dollars per week. Write an algebraic expression for the total amount of money she will have saved in 1 year. So at the beginning, she has X amount of money. That's how much she has already saved. So let's look to see what she has after week 1. So after 1 week, well, she has X amount saved, and then she's going to add another Y dollars to it. So at the end of week 1, she has X plus Y. Well, at the second week, well, she has X plus Y, because that's what she had at week 1, and then she added another Y to it. So this is X plus 2Y. That's an expression after 2 weeks. After 3 weeks, we have X plus 2Y. That's what she had after 2 weeks, plus another Y. And this is X plus 3Y. We can continue this pattern until we get to that full year, 52 weeks. And what we have is X plus 52Y. We have the starting amount X, and then we're going to add 1 Y for every week. If we have 52 weeks, that's 52Y. So the answer is X plus 52Y. What is the perimeter of the triangle ABC in terms of X? So when we talk about perimeter, we're going to add up all the sides. So we're going to add the length of AB, which is S. And then we're going to add the length of BC, which is also S. So we have S plus S. And then we're going to add the length of AC, which is 20. So we have S plus 20. And this is an algebraic expression. Let's go ahead and simplify this down by combining like terms. So S plus S is 2S plus 20. A great way to learn is to practice on your own. We will discuss in a bit, but go ahead and pause your screen and do these 3 problems. Okay, so we have 16 more than the product of X and 13. Now writing this as we read it, it would be 16 plus the product of X and 13. So that's X times 13. And this is correct, but it's customary to A, put the coefficient in front of the variable. Instead of X times 13, we'd have 13 times X. And then we typically put the variable before the constant. So the more conventional way of writing this is 13x plus 16. Next we have 1/3 of A less 1/4 of B. Again, when we see less and not less than, view this as minus. So we have 1/3 of A minus 1/4 of B. For the last problem, 8M marbles are shared equally among 12 students. Write an algebraic expression for the number of marbles each student will get. The word shared will often imply division because we are dividing up something, in this case 8M marbles, and we're dividing it up into a certain number of groups. In this case, 12. We want 12 groups of marbles, and each student will get 1 group. So we're going to take the total, which in this case is 8M, and we're going to divide it by the number of groups we want to put that total in. So we want to divide this into 12 groups. So that gives us 8M over 12. And then we can simplify this down. We can factor out a 4 from 8 and 12, and that leaves us with 2/3 M. Continue practicing writing algebraic expressions, and I'll see you in the next video.